Hello guys. So today I'm going to talk to you about weather effects. It's something very basic who you're forced to have in every match, yet one can be to just have nothing. There are currently in the game 6 weather effects, and they're just going to affect differently how the game is regulated. Some modes have a weather effect that will be permanent. For example, abnormal gravity is the weather effect in PvP, the one reducing any form of heal by 50%. So this is something that you're just going to know and you're not going to be able to do anything with until they invented the club matches. So this is why I'm doing this video, is because in club matches, you can actually re-roll the weather effects for a cost of 10,000 gold. The amount will go up at every re-roll, so you want to be careful with this. Here you're going to see 3 weather effects. I'm going to say these 2 can actually be seen pretty often in different modes, but Piercing Wind has actually been a very rare weather effect, and I've barely ever seen it. So again, the weather effects are going to be Soul Gravel, increase spirit cost of all active skills by 100%, max cost of 3, decrease support skill effects from all players by 75%, increase 10% damage to all players every 3 minutes. Then you're going to have Abnormal Gravity, who's going to be reduced by 50% the effect of anything that heals, stone healing, ability healing, passive healing, anything that heals in any sort of way, even damage crit-based healing. And there's, as the last one, I haven't seen it recently, but it's called Heat Wave, was something that used to be very common in COD, who basically means a speed lowered by 30% for your team. So sometimes it's there, you don't even notice it, and that's why the AI can always outspeed you all the time. The thing is, you can actually have a sort of resistance against these. And what I mean by that is each player has a built-in weather resistance. In this case, Virgil is resistant to Soul Grave immunity. And Soul Grave is the one that affects cost of skills. So for example, if this weather effect was on, Virgil could still use his skill. But to be honest, passing a 2-bar skill to a 3-bar skill in his case would really not make a difference. For some players, it's going to be something more major. I'm going to just take one other example, Soul Gravel again. I think it's the most common one. Or Piercing Wind immunity, I've barely ever seen, as I said again. So you want to look at what kind of team you have, what kind of team the other person is using, and what's going to be most beneficial to yourself. Because again, when you're looking at these kind of effects, if you don't use support skills, especially like the passing kind, you're going to want to actually switch it to this to give yourself a little edge. Or if you have a lot of healing, you're going to want to put this one, inflicts 10% of damage to all players every 3 minutes. If you can get the match to last 15-20 minutes with a good defense, when you finally get to the front line, you can take them out easier. Or again, depending on your style, if you don't have a lot of skills that cost points and the majority of the high casters have Soul Grave, you can again arrange yourself so you can still use your skill and they can't use any against you. Especially if you're using Spirit Burn, this becomes very frustrating for an opponent team. And in the opposite, it could also be frustrating for you. So you just want to be careful at what exact choice you're going to make when you're looking at the weather. But this is something very important because I'm just going to make a random match. When you look at the match, you now have the option to switch it. So this is really why I find this is important. So right here, you can switch it. Oh, that's actually been pretty rare to see this. And whenever you're going to start a regular match or any kind of match, it's usually going to show you in the top left corner here. These are the weather effects. So this one is Abnormal Gravity because it's a PvP, and then there's Piercing Wind. Usually you just have Abnormal Gravity, but since this is club match, there is Abnormal Gravity by base and a second one that will be added. So just look on the top left, you click, it's going to explain to you exactly what they do. Just always keep that in mind when you're doing a formation, when you're playing in PvP, especially in Guild Wars. And I hope this explains to you basically what that means, what weather is, and what those icons on those player cards in the top right always meant. Have a good day.